With that down, let's now move on to our second main topic today. And our second main topic today gets submitted to us by Ryan Trabuco, who writes, "Hey, John, I just saw from Deadline that AMC Theatres announced that their first California market to open up per Governor Gavin Newsom's reopening guidelines will include San Diego. No more 4-hour Nevada trips. How excited are you? Because I know I am. Thanks." All right. Thank you so much. And yes, for those of you who know, I just recently made a 3.5 to 4 hour drive down to Las Vegas so I could go see New Mutants. And it was a surprisingly good experience for me. Now, I put my videos up. You can find it on my YouTube channel, but I documented like everything in there. I was really pleasantly shocked at how safe they made that place. I felt much safer in there, like I said in the video, than I did going into a grocery store. I mean, they did a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job. But I was not excited about the idea of having to drive for 3.5, 4 hours again to go see another movie in Tenet. Fortunately for me, San Diego is only about an 1.5 hour drive away. And now they are opening that theaters down there. This comes to us from The Wrap, who writes, "San Diego County, which is currently in the second level of reopening, can reopen theaters with 25% of maximum capacity. Counties that reach the third level of reopening can raise that capacity limit to 50%. San Francisco County is also currently cleared for the second stage of reopening, though county health officials and theater chains have yet to disclose any details on the theaters on when the theaters may open." Now, of course, on top of all of that, we see that AMC Theatres now saying that as of this weekend, 70% of their theaters are going to be open. It is ironic that they're using this picture of the AMC Burbank 16 because that ain't one of them. That ain't going to be one of them that opens this weekend. By the way, guys, you see that round part of the building there with all the Onward posters on it? You see that there? That's the storage closet that we used to do AMC Movie Talk in. Just a little bit of history for you. That's that round part of the building. That was our converted storage closet. A little bit of stuff there. Look, from a completely selfish point of view, I'm thrilled that Ann and I have already bought our tickets for Tenet on Saturday, and that I am facing an 1.5 hour drive instead of a 3.5 to 4 hour drive. That's already a big win for us right there. The big question for me is going to be when I get down, and it does happen to be an AMC that we're going to as well down in San Diego. When we get down there, am I going to be faced with the same great scenario that I saw in Vegas? Because you guys remember when I was heading out to Vegas, I said, look, people were asking me, am I also going to make plans to go see other movies? I said, whoa, one thing at a time. I want to get down there the first time. Because if I get to Vegas, I don't care if I drove 3.5 to 4 hours. If I get there and I see that there aren't strict guidelines in place and I see everybody acting stupid and running around in the theater without masks on and all this kind of stuff, and I feel like they've crowded the theaters or anything like that, I said, not only am I not going to plan to go back again, I ain't going in. I don't care if I drove 3.5 to 4 hours. I'm just simply not going to go in. But I got there. My experience was great. Again, I documented it and you can find that online. So the first thing I'm going to be paying attention to when I get down to San Diego is, are they going to do the same excellent job that they did in Las Vegas? Because again, to me, it was safer than a grocery store. Like there were more people in the produce aisle of the grocery store I went to this week than there were in the theater when I watched New Mutants. And that's not necessarily a commentary on New Mutants. I'm just saying. So that's going to be the first big question. Look, in the world of the pandemic, we are talking specifically about the little box that we talk about here, which is the world of movies and entertainment. This is obviously movie theaters being closed is a first world problem. Obviously it is, but that is the stuff that we are here to talk about. But I mean, if they can do it right and do it well, and they can show and prove with data that this can be a safe experience to get out of the house, go and enjoy yourself, get the movies going again, then I think it's a great thing. And if it backfires, then shut it back down. But we'll see how it goes. Scott, you've had a chance to see. Notice I didn't say Rob. You're seeing that now as of this coming weekend, we're going to have 70% of AMC theaters open, probably very reflective of the other major chains as well. We've got one opening up in California. This is going to be the first experiment. Are you thinking you might go down another one? And how do you think this is going to go? Do you think they're going to be able to follow these strict kinds of procedures we've seen in other places? How do you think this is going to turn out?
Well, you said something really interesting in the sense that one thing at a time. I think that's one thing at a time. As you move forward with anything during the pandemic, it has to be one thing at a time. You go to a grocery store, you go in, is it safe? You proceed. You go to Starbucks, and everything you do outside of your home, exercise extreme caution and take every step to stay safe. So I too drove to Vegas to see Tenet, and I was really on the fence about it because I really felt like, what the hell? This is not fair. This isn't right. That the only way we can see Tenet is in a theater when it's still not 100% safe to do so. Is it really right for the filmmakers and the studio and the theater owners to put moviegoers in harm's way? But I haven't been to a movie in 6 months, and I was really on the fence about going because, like, driving 4 hours to see a movie, this is ridiculous. But first of all, I was up for an adventure. I just needed to get out of Dodge, have a change of scenery, and I kept checking in with the publicist handling the screening in Tenet. It was a press screening. It was not a public screening, and just wanted to make sure that there weren't going to be a lot of people in the theater. And in the end, there were only 10 people in the IMAX theater, and we were all really, really spread out. So I took every precaution. I did not do this recklessly. I posted a video on my YouTube page, Scott Mance, about my trip to Vegas, and I exercised caution. I wore my mask. I washed my hands. I kept my distance. I implore everyone going to the movies to stay safe. I did not do this irresponsibly, and I did not post my videos without very, very strong warnings. Be very, very careful. People are going to go to see Tenet in theaters that are open, whether I tell them to or not. So if I can use my platform to tell people, hey, if you go, be careful, wear your mask, wash your hands, keep your distance. And yeah, so I went to Vegas to see Tenet, and I'm glad I did because I had a great adventure. The movie is really confusing, but I really enjoyed the experience, and I can't wait to see it again. Same experience I had 10 years ago with Inception. So if I go to another theater to see Tenet, I'm going to treat it like a different experience. Is it safe to proceed? If I go to see Tenet, if I was going to drive to San Diego, I'm not going to just because I don't have time. But if I was going to do that, I would make the drive in my car. I would get out and I would put my mask on and I would sort of get the lay of the land. And if I saw too many people, if I saw a big crowd, I would not go in because it was not safe to do so. The screening that I went to in Vegas, it was safe to proceed. And before I even saw you this morning to be on your show, my reaction was, wow, I felt safer in that theater than I did going to the grocery store every week and a half to get groceries. And that is why I proceeded. Do I still
What do you think about this, the 25% capacity limit? Do you think that's a good restriction?
But 25%, if they spread it out and there's 6 feet or more between everybody, then 25% sounds about right. But if they start getting greedy and they start bunching people in, that's where I draw the line, and that's where people really need to use their best judgment. Now, the easiest thing would be that they just don't open theaters at all, and they just wait till there's a vaccine. But then you're talking at least like 5 or 6 months before movie theaters can open again. And, they're trying to, open things, restaurants are seating outdoors instead of indoors. Okay, like in California, things opened too fast and we paid the price. We had a big spike in COVID cases. So now they're trying a much more careful rollout. I drive down, whether I'm in LA or wherever I am, I see people sitting outside, spaced very far apart. Okay, that's fair. I mean, if you're going to proceed, just what we should have been doing all along. Everybody should have been wearing a mask. If everybody wore a mask and kept their distance, we never would have had a spike in cases in the first place. So people are going to go see Tenet in their theaters. Just be smart and be careful and protect yourself and protect everyone else by taking that first step and wearing a mask. And then just get the lay of the land and make sure that you feel safe moving forward. Be responsible. I know you were responsible going to Vegas to see New Mutants, and I took a lot of responsibility when I went to see Tenet. And I proceeded with caution, and I only kept moving forward as long as I felt safe to do so.
Question here for you guys is, what do you think about the fact that we're starting to see 70% of these theaters are going to be open across the country? Obviously not everywhere, not where I live, but hey, in San Diego, what are your thoughts on this? Jump down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys,